Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm really new at this. Yay me! But I'm gonna go ahead and do wow, I just clapped really loud, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and do a book haul today because I went a little crazy. That's okay though. I purged like right before I really started this channel, which was actually not right before. I purged way before I started this channel, and then I had a bunch of babies. Fun fact about me, and haven't really been able to sit down and read a book since. So now that my youngest is 2 and can, kind of do her own thing, I've been able to read a lot more, so I went a little nuts. So I've got a little bit of a book haul, and let's just go ahead and hop into it. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. I picked up Kingdom of Ashe by Sarah J. Maas. The reason I picked this up, I have not read anything in this series yet, but I really, really want to. And the reason I ended up picking up, what is this, like the 7th book or something like that? Yeah, it's like the 7th one, is because I hopped on Book Outlet and they had a bunch of scratch and dent books. As you can see, this one's a little busted, on sale, and I couldn't help myself. Already knew I wanted to read the series, so I went ahead and picked this one up. It's like $3. So I won't be reading this anytime soon because obviously I want to start from the beginning, but I did pick it up in preparation. Okay, the next thing I picked up was the Artemis Fowl Arctic incident. I'm super late to the party on this one. I know I've wanted to read it for years, but I did just read the first Artemis Fowl book during the reading rush. So again, it was just I couldn't pass up the deal. A bookstore near me was going out of business, so I bought stuff. Them and Book Outlet, they killed me. They killed me. They killed me. Or my bank account at least. But so I went ahead and picked this up. If you're not familiar, I mean, Artemis Fowl is like a 12-year-old genius criminal, and he has a run-in with some fairies, or leprechauns, or just mythical creatures. So this is the second one. I won't really talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil the first one trying to explain what this one's going to be about, but basically it's going to center around him and Holy Short, who is a fairy that he had a run-in with in book 1. So I'm pretty excited about this. These are super quick reads for me because they are, young adult fantasy. In fact, my oldest daughter, I think, is going to start reading these too. So how cool is that? Okay. The next couple of books I picked up because I couldn't help myself. I have noticed that these are kind of becoming, really becoming a thing lately, and I'm really here for it, and that is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, and this is basically like a preview as to why Ursula from The Little Mermaid is the way she is, So it's basically about Evie and Anna, and they're best friends, and Anna drowns. And then this girl comes back, and she looks a lot like Anna, and basically, they go through this thing where Evie, finds this person who she loves. She might actually get this happily ever after, and basically she doesn't realize what the price is for that. That's pretty much the gist of it. I'm pretty excited to read this one. Sorry, my battery died, but basically I'm pretty excited to read this one. And then the next one that's kind of in that similar theme is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this one is about the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, and kind of why she became so horrid. So basically, she's really sought after by the King of Hearts. He's got his eyes on her, right? And she's just really not interested. You know, she's like, no, I'm good. I kind of like this other guy over here. Basically she meets this other guy who she prefers, and the king is like super pissed. Yeah, so basically she falls in love with somebody else, and the king is super pissed, and so he is like all about like landing his woman, you know, and her parents are all about, you have to marry the king, and she's like, deuces. But basically she's basically determined to build her own destiny, and fate has different plans for her. So again, pretty excited about this one as well. Honestly, I keep saying that. I'm really excited about all of them. There is not I didn't buy a single book that I wasn't excited about, because that'd be stupid. Okay, and then I bought 2 books by Cassandra Clare, and I can't remember which one comes first. This one's technically book 1 in the Dark Artifices. I guess I should have looked this up before I got on camera. And then this is City of Bones. So this is Lady Midnight, and then I got City of Bones, and I can't remember which one comes first, so I'll have to look it up. Or you guys can comment down below and help me out, because I don't sleep. I either read, take care of children, or read and take care of children. Or play with makeup. I do that too. But my point being is that these aren't the same series, but they're set in the same world. So I just have to do a little bit of research, I guess, and figure out which one I want to read first. I believe they're both the first books in their respective series. This is, like I said, the Dark Artifices. I think it's this one, honestly, that I need to read first, is City of Bones. And this is the Shadow Hunters series, but this is set in the same world, right? Right. So basically, and again, I'm pretty sure it's this one that comes first, but the Shadow Hunters are like these warriors who are trying to keep like vampires and werewolves and demons like away from the normal people, right? They're like this supernatural police. I've never read any of these, so I'm just going off of what I think, you know? And so Clary is like out at the club doing her thing, and then she witnesses a murder, and then the Shadow Hunters come, or I think it's them who commits the murder, but they commit the murder, I don't know. And then her mother disappears, and she meets Jace, and then they're trying to figure stuff out, and she gains like some abilities. Yeah, sounds like a good time. So her and Jace are starting to try and figure shit out, basically, right? So then a demon, I guess, comes after her, right? And the Shadow Hunters are trying to figure out why a demon's after her, and so is she. She's like, I'm just a normal person. So that should be good. We'll see how that goes. This video is a absolute cluster, and I'm sorry. But if you go check out my other channel, I'm a cluster over there too. No big deal. And then, so Lady Midnight, I'm pretty sure is a spin-off. Like, I think this series is just in the same world. I really think this one comes next. Like, this series comes next. Like, it's this whole City of Bones series, and then it's this one. So this is actually the one that drew me into this world, because it almost sounds like a fantasy novel mixed in with like a murder mystery, because this one is basically about 2 best friends who are like warrior bonded or something like that, and it's Emma and Julian. Yeah, Emma and Julian. And basically, you know, the world is like kind of on the edge of war against the Shadow Hunters, which Emma is a Shadow Hunter, and the fairies. And they've kind of formed like this little temporary alliance, because like these bodies pop up of both humans and fairies and whatever, but they're bearing the same markings that I believe it was it both her parents or her mom or somebody had when they were murdered. So now she's like, okay, I'm gonna figure out who like killed my parents. And then Julian also is trying to like get somebody. I think he's trying to get his brother back from the fairies. They have him. So they form this like kind of temporary alliance that's all because of these bodies that have shown up, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, right? And so, and then they're on a timeline. They for whatever reason only have like 2 weeks before the murderer hits again. I guess the murderer is like kind of on a schedule. So again, it is very much so like a murder mystery combined with a fantasy novel, and I'm all about that life. All about it. Okay, and then these are the first 2 books in what I think is a trilogy. I'm not sure if they're going to continue, but I got the first 2 books. I did not get the third yet, and that is the Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. This has been recommended to me about 4,000 times, and it does kind of sound interesting. So basically, so I had got Scythe, and then I got Thunderhead, which is the next one in the series. So basically, this is set in, you know, our world, but in the future where we've basically cured all disease. There's no world hunger. There's like no misery. There's no war. There's nothing, right? So no one dies, basically. So they have these people called scythes, and those are the people who have to go and basically kill people in order to maintain, you know, not overpopulating. So as I was saying, sorry, my camera shut off. This is like the perfect world, but in order to like maintain population control, they have scythes, and scythes basically kill people. And the first one, at least, I assume the second one does too. I haven't really read anything about it because I just assumed, because that's definitely the way to go. But the first one follows these 2 teenagers who are apprenticing to be scythes, even though they don't really want to be. So they basically either have to learn to kill or be killed. So I'm pretty excited about both of these. It sounds like a very interesting series. Just an interesting concept, the whole thing of it. So I picked up those 2 as well. Again, super excited. I know I've said that 40,000 times. Sorry. And then last but not least, the last book I picked up was The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I have been putting off reading this book for years, mostly because there's supposed to be a third one coming, and it's been 6 years and there's still no book. So basically I am just a bit worried that I'm going to fall in love with it, and then I'm going to have a George R.R. Martin situation and be sitting here waiting for years for the next one. So, I mean, that's my issue with this one. This is probably going to sit on my shelf longer than any of the rest of these, because I'm still at that point. I'm like, do I really want to start this if I'm going to have to wait years for the ending? Do I? And I bought it in a moment of weakness. Mostly because I stress shop. I know it's not healthy. I get that. Trust me, I totally do. But when I'm under a lot of pressure and stress and stuff, I shop. So I bought it while I was having a moment. But it's basically the story of a hero told by the hero. And you know, in fantasy, the hero never really believes that he's the hero. So just that concept in itself has always grasped my attention. I don't typically love like first person narratives. I don't know why. I don't know why. Probably because I'm a big fan of like multiple points of view and things like that. And typically those don't end up being written in first person narratives. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, what have you. But yeah, I don't know. I am really excited about this one too. I just don't want to be upset like I was with A Song of Ice and Fire. Well, I shouldn't say am by A Song of Ice and Fire, because seriously, where's Winds of Winter? Where is it? Where is it? So, looking forward to that too. So anyway, that is my most recent book haul. If you like these, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified of my uploads, hit the notification bell right there down at the bottom. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later.